Ladies and gents, we have got a massive transfer update coming out from Fabrizio Romano, and Manchester City are prepared to pay, according to reports, 100 million euros for Arsenal target Rodrygo. For me personally, the only left winger now that makes sense for Arsenal to go out there and sign is Rafael Leao. Eberechi Eze may have played his last game yesterday for Crystal Palace, picking up 2 trophies in 3 months of Crystal Palace. And do you know what's mad? When Crystal Palace win the Charity Shield, everyone's going, oh yeah, Oliver Glasner's got 2 trophies. But no one ever mentions that when Arteta's won it. Or no one ever mentioned it when Jurgen Klopp won it a few years ago. Or whoever it may be. When it's Arsenal, it just seems to be there's a different narrative around social media, which is just crazy to me. Rafael Leao. He's the only left winger that makes sense. And Eberechi Eze. We're going to talk about the quotes that come out yesterday. Make sure you go check out the Premier League predictions video that come out earlier today. That is going to upset quite a few people. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts. We just hit 72K and now we're under 500 away from 73K. If you haven't already and you enjoy the content, please go down, hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts and don't forget to leave a like. I want to talk about Fabrizio Romano's tweet regarding the move for Rodrigo. Now, this is a massive domino effect because Tottenham are prepared to pay £43 million, according to David Ornstein, for Savinho. Now, I don't necessarily know if that makes perfect sense. I think we need huge amount of goals. We've lost a lot of players, but we are prepared to pay the money. Now, why this is a domino effect is that 50 million euros, that £43 million deal, enables Manchester City to then go out there and buy Rodrigo. Tottenham are in talks with Man City to sign Savinho. Man City not actively wanting to sell, but 50 million euros still being discussed. 21-year-old is open to the move. Now, obviously, he's added Romano there. Romano then comes out with a few hours later, probably about an hour ago, a couple of hours ago now, Man City are considering a move for Rodrigo after imminent exits. Grealish gone, McTetti and Savinho can leave, and Man City see Rodrigo as a dream target. Guardiola is a big fan. I don't necessarily think he's entirely what City need. I think they've got Marmoush. They've got a handful of left wingers in Jeremy Doku as well. Is he predominantly going to play on the right and be unhappy again? Maybe. Real Madrid will let the player leave for 100 million euros. According to reports, Arsenal have looked at alternative targets. Now, Eberechi Eze is a guy that we know is a massive, Arsenal are long-term admirers of Eberechi Eze. He played yesterday, won another trophy with Crystal Palace, and, doing the utmost, for Crystal Palace. This quote here, I'm not entirely sure if this is legit. It is a parody count, but, he says football and banter. A lot of people have quoted this, though. I've completed my mission with Crystal Palace. Let's see what the future holds. Now, Eberechi Eze, in terms of him as a player, he fits Arsenal's system to an absolute T. He's only got 1 year left on his, or 2 years left on his contract, sorry. He only signed a contract extension in 2023. I personally think Eberechi Eze leaves this window, but I don't think he's prepared to upset the hierarchy of Crystal Palace. I personally believe when you look at this quote here coming out from this reporter, Arsenal and Crystal Palace have reportedly reached an agreement for the transfer of Eberechi Eze. The deal and the fee is around £55 million, 30 million to be paid up front. I think personally, Eberechi Eze does leave and he does join Arsenal. The left winger situation fascinates me because Rafael Leao surely should be the guy they go for now. If they can bring Eberechi Eze in for £50 million, we know credible sources like Fabrizio Romano, we know credible sources like David Ornstein have all said they're big admirers. Fabrizio Romano has said Andrea Berta will be at Wembley today to keep a close eye on Eberechi Eze. And he did play well yesterday. Crystal Palace held a really good account of themselves. They looked really good in the second half. He did miss his penalty, but it was a good save from Alisson. Was he off the line? We'll leave that up to a debate for another day. Now, Mal Sport put out this video earlier today saying Eberechi Eze appears to smile at a fan who asked him whether he is coming to Arsenal. I can't play this for copyright reasons, but surely if you wasn't, you just deny it. You're like, no. Maybe he's just smiling in general. I don't know, but it just seems a bit fishy that a lot of his friends are there. Madueke, Madueke's there. Eze's obviously friends with Saka, Lewis Skelly. Tom Canton said Eberechi Eze's release clause would be to expired before the Premier League season starts with an upfront fee needed to secure the deal. This was back on the 30th of July. Now, Hand of Arsenal has been very, very quiet, but apparently has deleted a tweet from earlier today, which says Crystal Palace have informed Arsenal of their update of willing to sell Eze. Arsenal and Palace will meet in the middle at 55 million. As of today, Palace are ready to offload Eze and Guehi. Personal terms are not an issue. This was deleted about an hour ago. Now, Hand of Arsenal is arguably the most reliable journalist when it comes to Arsenal news. The fact that that's been deleted just tells me that this is a lot closer than people think. In terms of the Rafael Leao situation, now, quite a big Twitter account, Eduardo Hagen, said this this afternoon. If Man City sign Rodrigo, the only left winger that Arsenal should sign is Rafael Leao. I agree with that wholeheartedly. If Arsenal have next season a front three of Rafael Leao, of Victor Gyökeres and Bukayo Saka, with a midfield of Max Dowman, I think is going to get a lot more game time than people think. Yes, he might be only 15 years of age, but he had a very, very good pre-season. You've also got Ethan Nwaneri that can come in and play the 10 and play a role out wide. You've also got the situation with Martin Odegaard. I personally believe, I'm going to say it, I think Arsenal sign Eze. I don't know if they're going to sign Rafael Leao, though. Rafael Leao, according to reports, could leave AC Milan for about 90 million euros. That is a big fee, but that's the going rate. He actually got more goal contributions last season in terms of league output than Rodrygo did. And Rodrigo obviously plays for Real Madrid, whereas Leao obviously plays in Serie A. But Leao is playing in his strongest position. If Man City are out there signing Rodrigo, if Liverpool are signing Alexander Isak, Arsenal have to make a statement signing. Chelsea are about to sign Xavi Simons. Everyone's doing their business. The fact that this tweet has been deleted tells me I would go as far to say that right now, Arsenal are going to put a bid in very, very soon for Eberechi Eze. Maybe it's 55 million, maybe it's 50 million. Who knows? But as of right now, there's a domino effect going on with Tottenham are buying Savinho, which means then Man City can then buy Rodrigo, which then means Arsenal lose out on that target. They have to put their attention to a Leao. Who do AC Milan get in as their replacement for Rafael Leao? Well, their director of football has come out on numerous occasions and said they're only going to sell their players for top money. Hence why Chelsea weren't prepared to pay the asking price for Mike Maignan, their goalkeeper. And the Premier League season, guys, is 4 days away. It is 4 days away. The opening game, obviously Liverpool against Bournemouth. But this game on Sunday fascinates me. Man United versus Arsenal. Sesko versus Gyökeres. Amorim versus Arteta. Bruno versus Odegaard. There's so many interesting matchups. I may even do a watch-along for this. But I am very, 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 very optimistic about this Premier League season for a lot of teams. I think it's going to be the most intense Premier League season we've ever had. I think it's going to be the most competitive. Every single team seems to have got better. Some teams have held on to their best players. Aston Villa have still got Watkins and Rodgers. As it stands, Newcastle have still held on to Alexander Isak. If Arsenal go out there and go and get a Leao and go and get a Eberechi Eze, the Premier League season next season is going to be an absolute joke. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you check out the Premier League predictions video that was posted earlier. I'm very, very interested to hear your thoughts. And yeah, I mean, Eze, look at the options they could have. Dowman, Eze, Nwaneri, and Odegaard all can play the 10. Wide options, they could have Leao, Martinelli, Trossard, Saka, Jesus. Striker options, Havertz and Gyökeres. They're going to be a threat. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.